Welcome to the Dark Zone Adventure Racing Podcast. This is your host, Brian Gatens. We've been delighted to give the keys to the podcast over to Rootstock Racing as they chronicled their 2026 Endless Mountains Adventure Race. And today is their final episode, number 6. Not only does Abby do a great job wrapping up the series, but stick around at the end and you can hear a special audio collection by media guru and race referee Wayne Leake. Definitely worth hanging around past that last episode. So thanks to Rootstock and to Abby for the hard work they did on the podcast. It was great to listen to. And thanks as always for being a listener to the Dark Zone. Now sit back and relax and enjoy the Rootstock Racing Endless Mountains podcast.
You guys are all set here?
Cheers, guys.
The 2026 Endless Mountains Adventure Race has come to a close. At the post-race celebration, 4 Hour Fuel stands atop their 4th podium, and Vert is next to them for the 2nd year in a row. Gym City, capitalizing on savvy racing and early strategic moves, rounds out the top 3, and Mercators, who was running in 3rd for much of the race, crossed the finish line an hour after the course closed, suffering a 12-point penalty that dropped them to the 4th slot. Strong Machine Adventure Racing finishes 5th.
It was like, yeah, we know we're going to be late, but we're not going to skip a mandatory point at this point. It's not an option for us. And we all agreed, and we knew it was going to happen. And I think that was pretty great on this team that no one threw in the towel or was like, no, screw that. I'm not doing my section. Let's get out of here. That never even became in the discussion. I think we all immediately were like, yeah, we're going to clear it. And however many points we lose, we lose. And we just knew it had to get done.
It's this, the experience of doing hard things together, that's at the heart of adventure racing. In the best of circumstances, the people that make up the team come together to create something better than the sum of their individual parts.
We knew where we were, and we could have skipped the bike raft and just coasted in, but that wouldn't have been very fun. That's lame. I want to show up and see what the race directors intend to show us.
This evaluation of goals stretches far beyond the podium. Every team in the field came into the race with their own benchmarks for success.
I think we all have the same goals. We all want to have fun. We all want to enjoy the moment. And we all, I think, appreciate it that we're able to do this. I mean, this is a big deal. Adventure racing is really hard. My belief and understanding of our team is that we're all on the same page with that.
I think we're going to have a lot of fun together. So looking forward to that and seeing how we can overcome the challenges that we face.
Usually I get into any sort of multi-day thing and I get annoyed with the discomfort and start wishing it was over. And then when it finally is over, I'm sad because I was like, oh, that was actually really awesome and I want to keep that train rolling. So my hope is that I'm kind of a little bit sad when it's over and want to keep playing.
I attempted once an expedition race, so I made it to day 2 last year. So I have some unfinished business for this 2026.
For us, it's just all about get out, have fun, make good relationships, make good stories. Win, lose, draw, loss, found. It's going to be a fun time one way or the other.
It's an ultimate challenge to be able to push yourself for an entire week and get to that finish line. I think that's our common goal. And to make those decisions along the way, there's a lot of reward when you know that you're making proper decisions along the way. That's sort of what drives me.
We've been friends for 25 years. It was maybe that fork in the road. You get to your 40s and you get a little lazy or you decide to crank it up a few notches. And this is us cranking it up a few notches, trying to live till 100. Maybe that's the goal. When you're a group of friends for 25 years doing a backcountry race of this nature, I mean, it's a phenomenal way to continue to bond.
I hope people look at us like, hey, you don't have to win to still enjoy the sport and do it as hard as you can. We're talking about, let's make sure we do all the mandatory points at Endless, which may be very different for some of the teams, but it doesn't make it any more grand adventure for us.
You don't need to be a sponsored athlete to go out and have fun on a team.
I always say getting lost in the woods without being lost in the woods, and that freedom of adventuring and seeing all the beautiful places that course is going to take us is what I'm really excited about.
As they moved through the course, each of these teams adapted their strategy and their goals, redefining that idea of success as they made their way to the finish line.
I think we were really just thinking, we set out to do the mandatories, and a bunch of optionals, and now we're not even going to get all the mandatories, right? The goal that seemed so attainable was slipping away from us, and I think we really wanted to be a team that could do all the mandatories.
This is Alex Tilsley. You heard from her and her Granite AR teammate Josh Nichols in episode 5, talking about the strategic choice they made to be late across the line.
I don't think we had any idea where we were relative to the others in our division. I don't think we were thinking about that at all. It was just, man, what a disappointment to get back
to get our goal, yeah.
without all of the mandatories, to not even be a short course team.
At Endless Mountains, there are 4 divisions: all male, all female, mixed premier, which is the 4-person co-ed division, those that are eligible to qualify for the Adventure Racing World Championship, and mixed open, co-ed teams of 2 and 3. Granite ultimately finished at the top of the podium for the mixed open ranking.
I think seeing how many teams had to drop mandatories, that helped. I still think that there were other teams, at least one other team in our division, who I'd say raced a better race and just made a different decision at the end, and the way the scoring worked in our favor.
Here is what Anna Stewart of Team Grit wrote after the race. In the end, we didn't really take as big a bite of the course as we would have wanted. But it's become apparent that a good team can completely wash away any disappointments about final standings, while a good final standing cannot wash away a bad team experience.
I mean, if we had skipped the bike pack wrap, then I wouldn't have been able to stumble onto the nudie colony and had 5 naked guys tell me where the flag was.
You might recall the nude beach on the reservoir from episode 5. Only 3 teams made it to the bike rafting: 4 Hour Fuel, Vert, and Mercators. But for those that did, it was impossible to forget.
The hardest part of this race was watching those last 3 days on a computer.
This is Jason Glenn of Team Chaos Required. As you heard in episode 5, Jason had to withdraw from the race due to an injury that he sustained on the first stage.
Into the second embedded leg, we had chose to come on shore off the paddle a little bit different than everybody else. Rick is a monkey, and he found a crevice up through that waterfall, 20, 30 feet up. And sure enough, it was no problem going up. Went up, and as usual, their navigation was spot on. We really did well. And coming down about 3 a.m., we realized going down was a little bit more difficult. So we took turns going down just to make sure no loose rock would take out the guy below. So we let Rick go first. He cleared fine, yelled up, it was clear. And I made it down okay. But there was still a pretty steep incline of large rocks to navigate at the base. And I had just turned to tell JP, I'm clear, come on down. And in doing so, the rock I was on gave way, reached for a tree in front of me. It's dark, it's raining, and missed it and just went flying. There was just a brief moment of midair. And when I landed, I knew something wasn't quite right.
But he didn't go down without a fight.
You could see it was a pretty bad laceration. It took the whole front of my shin down, and then there was some bone exposed. The wound was pretty contaminated, but I'm a medical professional by training. I deal with wounds every day of my life. And so we just did what we normally do. We irrigated it real well. And the only thing I had on me was a medical grade super glue. We wrapped it up and kind of went on our way. And the day went really well. About 3 p.m. on one of the bike tracks, was trying to climb up a pretty steep climb, and my injured foot fell off the pedal, all my pressure on the other leg. It comes up and takes it right into that leg. I didn't make much noise about the first fall. That was brutal. That was like seeing stars.
Jason made it to the next TA on his own power, but when our medical team evaluated his condition, they recommended that he accept transport to a local emergency room for further evaluation. His teammates waited at the transition area for 6 hours, hoping for word that Jason would be able to continue on with them.
I insisted they consider moving on, but they wanted to wait. We got to the ER, and pretty quick, they made it clear I probably wouldn't be going back to the race. That's when the word came back to the team that, hey, he's probably not returning. So I kind of became a fan from the sidelines. But I know them so well. I knew every decision they made. I knew what was going on in the course. I love the races, I love the experience, but I really love these guys and love racing with them. And that's what makes it special. And that's what killed me not to be out there with them.
Doing that 25-foot cliff dive is something that there's not very many people that could convince me to do that. And I think having the synergy of the team, it was really awesome to accomplish that. All those little things, they add together, and getting past that cold moment, I just feel like a stronger person and just really grateful for the experiences that adventure racing offers. I'm not an elite athlete, and I get so much out of it. I just felt like I belonged.
What is your favorite part about adventure racing?
That you can experience being out there and just being free.
This is my daughter Zoe. 4 years ago, as a rising third grader, she made her debut as a guest on the Dark Zone podcast at the first edition of Endless Mountains. As you've heard in past episodes, she and her brother Simon have grown up in our sport. Zoe has moved from the de facto mascot of Rootstock Racing to an integral member of our behind-the-scenes team, and a racer in her own right.
It's been really special to be able to connect with people who do adventure racing. They're some of my favorite people in the whole world. Just so fun to be around. Helping each other, talking to each other, and being happy with each other and celebrating with each other. Just hearing people laugh like non-stop. It's a special community. It's not like, I wouldn't say it's a completely normal community. When another racer is struggling and they're, let me tow you, or let me carry your pack, or let me help you fix your bike. It's so cool to see people not just thinking about yourself, but also thinking about other people. It teaches you so much about how to persevere, and when you're around people who do it, it just enhances that. I love the adventure racing community, and I'm really happy I get to be a part of it.
So what is this, John?
So this is from Zoe. She helped me pack, and I found a Coke in this bag, and it says, okay, so it's the last trek. You're probably hurting, but wait for it. You got this, or whatever. But now keep going. It's the last trek. Just suck it up. Good job.
It's shown me a type of person that I would love to be, that I aspire to. Somebody who likes taking risks and is just like really nice most of the time. And somebody who's interesting and fun to be around, but also is humble about it. Not a lot of people in adventure racing that I've met at least brags about it. They do it. When I'm older, like in my 20s maybe, or 30s, I would definitely do one of the 5-day expedition races that my parents put on.
From the youngest racers to the oldest. As you heard in episode 1, according to a survey from the Adventure Racing Cooperative, the average age of an adventure racer is 44. At Endless Mountains, across all 4 editions of the event, the average competitor is 47 years old, and in 2026, there were 10 racers over 60. It's no surprise, then, that across the course, a consistent through line became aging into and out of the sport.
You can define what competitive is for you at any point in time. And so you really have to just choose your level of competition. What are you targeting as your competition? Are you targeting the elite, or are you targeting other folks who you find yourself out on the course with, or are you just competing against yourself? I know for me, a big part of aging is when you come up with bumps in the road, you just have to constantly reinvent yourself. And it's the success of being able to reinvent yourself that does lead to happiness.
Do you want to take my spot at Pickle tomorrow? Some really good players. Mary's playing. 6 a.m.
All right, I'll see. I have a tea time at
Okay.
8.
This is exactly what I dealt with.
I know, the retired old farts.
Here's Team Dark Zone podcast, fresh off the race course and already conspiring about their next adventures together.
I have to say that doing these races is really a boost for me. I almost feel like if I'm not doing them, am I really getting old? Like old in the sense of not older, old. I mean, where is that happen? I don't know. That's my little dilemma. But hey, listen, it's still pretty good.
I use the word transformative. It's kind of hard to describe it. Just being able to exceed my own expectations of what I can do turns me into a different person.
By design, these events are made to remap you. They're taking you through an experience where the only way from point A to point B is to get through it. And along the way, you get to be wrung out together. And that's almost its own discipline in the sport. It's something that took me the better part of 20 years to realize. It's a physical experience, but it's also an emotional one. It's a psychological one. It's a community one. And sometimes it's a spiritual one. Here's more from Anna Stewart, this time about their time on the Somerset Reservoir. As another team looked on from about 20 feet away, the four of us collectively let go of our remaining sanity and held a 60-second rave in our pack rafts in the middle of the night, in the pouring rain, on day 4 of an expedition race. We waved our hands over our headlamps to mimic strobe lights as we hurled our heads around to the beat of the music. It would be a struggle to recall a moment in my life more chaotically spiritual than that one.
Racing is like life, you know? In a race, there's ups and there's downs. We're making some strategic decisions that work out. And that was great, you know? And there's other ones, it's like, why did we do that? But you go through these ups and downs and you keep going. The goal is to keep going and enjoy it and to finish. And always finish strong, too. I want to finish strong in every race. And in life, I want to finish strong. I'm retired now, but that doesn't mean I just sit on my couch now. I want to finish life strong, too. These things kind of all weave together.
In her post-race reflection, Elke Dolder of Team Irritatingly Optimistic wrote a letter to her future self. She said, "If you're 75-year-old Elke, I pray that you're still doing the things. It might not be 5-day expedition races, but I hope you're still doing things that scare you and excite you and stretch you. I hope you can read these posts and remember how it felt to be in those moments and experiencing those emotions. Racing wasn't, or hopefully isn't, the best part of your life, but some things add to who you are as a person. Being out in nature and using the body is a blessing I hope you have never taken for granted. Give all the family you have a tight, squeezy hug from 43-year-old Elke. She's still out here making as many memories as possible, and hoping she's made you proud and thankful for all our blessings. Now go and read the stories from all of the other expedition races we've hopefully done since this first one."
We take these huge, big swings at life. We do things like this, and people who get it, get it. People who don't get it, don't get it. That's just the way it is. I think there's a personality type that we do really well in our lives when we have dragons to slay. And when the dragons go away, we're a little aimless. We're a little lost. There are some people, God love them, they live their lives in a simple way and they enjoy what they do and they're happy to tick the days through. They work hard, they love their family, they go to bed at night and they're fine just turning the days over. And that's completely fine. And then there's a subset of people who do really well with the challenge. They do well having something in front of them. And what I've learned over the years is I fall into the latter category. And what's happened over the course of the last several years is by virtue of fate and life and the way things go, the dragons have been taken out of my life. I had a big, difficult job as a superintendent of schools. That's been taken out of my life. The injury to my quad and the ability to return to racing, that was taken out of my life.
As I said in the first episode, before the race began, this year's Endless Mountains felt like the beginning of a bit of a redemption tale for Brian Gatens, a reclamation of his past self.
I realized how special it was, how unique it was, and how it was such a wonderful moment in time. And discussing it in the past tense reminds me that it's in the past. Was this my last expedition race? In some ways, I kind of want it to be. How do you recreate this? How do you put that together again? How do you get 3 people you love in a race organization that you have tremendous respect for in a beautiful part of the country? That's like lightning in a bottle. And so if this is it, if this is the last expedition race I do, then it is. And wrapping my head around that is okay. I'm not angry about it. I'm not upset about it. I don't feel like I've been robbed. Oh God, I never feel that way. I completely am playing with house money. I've never lost that illusion in my entire life. It would take something really, really, really unique and special for me to consider doing another 5-day race like this. That being said, other races, other types of races, right? There's other things out there. But I think from a 5-day perspective, this is probably going to be it for me.
As the post-race celebration wears down, it's time for teams to make the turn toward home, and for many to think about how to integrate the experience of the race into their daily lives. Returning to work, mowing the lawn, snuggling their kids, their partner, their pups, joining a family vacation, eating ice cream by the pint, printing maps for their next adventure, tending to broken feet and sore bodies, re-entering. I always find that an adventure race, especially an expedition race, is a bit of a time warp. It is intense, immersive, and intimate. And when it's over and you return to the mundaneness of daily living, it's sometimes hard to hold on to. I have a few friends who try to keep that magic alive by cracking a beer and cleaning their gear in their driveways, taking stock of everything they used and the stories that came with it. On balance, though, it's probably a good thing. We wouldn't get anything done if we could live in the races forever. But it can also create a sort of whiplash that's hard to convey to those who didn't experience it with you.
I wish more people were able to access what adventure racing is giving me. Doesn't mean everybody has to go to a 5-day race, but I think that there's a certain element to this sport and to the people in the sport that we begin to live in rarefied air. And I've never lost sight of that. I've never gotten caught up on the idea of thinking that this is commonplace or easy. It's a privilege to get to do it. I am completely blessed 1,000 times over. This is how I get to spend my days.
A few years ago, in one of the many teachable moments adventure racing affords us, Brent and I told Zoe that a team's goal should always be for all of the members to cross the line with the same reserves left in the tank. Our outputs must be the same, even if the expression of output is different. Some of us carry more weight, and some of us empty our packs. Some of us get towed up a hill, and some of us do the towing. But we all finish together, equally spent and equally content. Adventure racing at its best is a continued commitment to find the most in each other, so that everyone crosses that line together. You share food, sing songs, and swap stories of adventures past and plans for adventures to come. You cuddle for trailside naps. You summit mountains at sunrise and then pause for a swim in a glassy lake. You push hard and move with purpose, ideally always in the right direction. You make incredible friends along the way. You give yourself permission to look up and see the stars. You take care of each other, and you let yourself be taken care of. It's not always easy to remember the why during these extended escapes from reality and responsibility, when you intentionally choose discomfort in an increasingly uncomfortable world. For the 38 teams at the 2026 Endless Mountains Adventure Race, they did it for the Summit Fire Towers and the Class 4 gravel rollers, for the beaver ponds and the loons, for the quarry jumps and the screaming downhills and the well-earned pockets of sky amidst the dense forest, for the general stores and the bakery treats that fueled them to keep moving forward, for the late-night dance parties and the finish line playlist, for the people they met along the way, the friendships forged over the intensity of shared experience. They did it for themselves, and they did it for each other. So, let's do it again sometime.
Final thoughts. I'm glad you're not doing another Endless Mountains for 2 years, because that will give me time to really think about my 5-day retirement or not.
That's kind of the cool thing in the sport. We just forget what the misery we just went through and get it done and move on.
Mary, are you retiring?
Who started that rumor?
You did. You said it in the pre-race interview. I'm turning 50. I'm doing Endless. I'm retiring.
See, I've already forgotten that. Not yet, you know. I've only been 50 for 2 days, so I'm still adjusting.
The next edition of the Endless Mountains Adventure Race is set for June 2028, a traverse across northern New England. See you there.
What was your first ever adventure race?
Matt?
Storm the Trent about 16 years ago.
And mine was also Storm the Trent about 12 years ago.
Why wasn't it your last race?
I loved it so much.
I convinced him to come back and do a longer one.
Yeah, I got hypothermic. It almost killed me, but I healed up, and it was an amazing race, and I just kept on going.
Jeep Kentucky Adventure Challenge in 2001 or 2002 in Kentucky.
Why wasn't it your last adventure race?
Wow, that's an excellent question. Because everything went wrong. Got lost, got crampy. Not much went right, but something about it obviously kept me coming back.
A 3-hour adventure race when I were at school and tried that and then fell in love with it.
I loved it too much. I hated it then, but came back for much more, and now I've been doing it for probably 10 plus years.
Storm 2017, I think. Just the being outdoors, being out in the wild, and I've been out in the wild ever since.
It was in the Chicago area, and it was a 24, and it was in 1995.
Why wasn't it your last?
Because I fell in love with it. Yep.
How many races since?
Oh my goodness, since 1995 I haven't skipped a year, so I don't know, 500, I don't know. That's a guess.
The Goals Edge in 2007.
Why wasn't it your last adventure race?
That's a great question, mostly because I was really stubborn and decided I needed to figure out how to enjoy this.
A Danish 24-hour race. We finished in 23 hours and 58 minutes. We had absolutely no clue what we were doing, and we learned a lot during that race, but most important, we got hooked and have never looked back ever since.
GM ARA Bitter Pill in 2003.
Oh, it's too much fun.
I'm too stupid.
My first adventure race was Diffie-Nipisiguit in Bathurst, New Brunswick in 2016 or 2017. You get to play outside and do all the things that I love to do, and with all the people that also love to do it and see new places.
My first adventure race was the Medicine Hat Massacre in Alberta. Whenever you're trying new things, there's always a sweet spot of how hard things are. Like if you go climbing and if something's way too hard, it's way too hard. If something's way too easy, you don't come back. In adventure racing, you can kind of pick whatever challenge, you make the challenge as hard as you want. So it's kind of the perfect sweet spot, I think. And you get to hang out with your friends in the wood for a while. Grant Killian's 18-hour outside of the Williamsburg area, and that would have been in 2007.
What was yours?
I think it was Odyssey and Orphan Fix, 99.
Why wasn't it your last race?
Because I had to fix all the things I messed up that first time.
Perfect. Because I really liked all the challenges. Like I went in thinking we'd be good at some things and not at others, and the things I thought we'd be good at, there was a lot of room for improvement, and the things I wasn't so sure on really kind of hooked me in. Like the planning, the logistics, all the prep before a race that sets the tone for your race.
Mine was 20 years ago, and it was probably just a 6-hour race in Indiana. I loved the scavenger hunt feel of an adventure race. The ability to run through the woods and find checkpoints kept me hooked.
It was about 20 years ago, and just a small little race in Indiana. I loved it from the beginning. It was awesome. Just running through the woods and finding points and getting yourself lost and getting yourself found, and then continuing some more, and all the good suffering and all that stuff is just perfect.
I did a 6-hour race 14 years ago. My brother kind of tricked me into it, but the mental game really got me going, and it's like just finding the points. It was just got me hooked.
The Savannah Scramble in 2021.
I think so. You love or hate it, and I love the mental part of endurance racing, pushing through. So I wanted to do more.
And we didn't get divorced after that, so yeah, that was positive.
So my first adventure race was North Jersey, way Weanda, in 2004. I keep trying to quit, but it just doesn't work.
Ooh, that's a long time ago. 2005, Half Moon Bay 5-hour race, California. I got hooked immediately. I came from a running background. I immediately found running to be completely boring, and I just switched over and never looked back.
first ever adventure race?
It was an hour longest day, hosted out of Bel Air Mountain. I think that was 15 years ago.
Why wasn't it your last race?
Because I knew very, very quickly that I had come across the most awesome sport in the world. The people, all the mental capacity, the physical capacity, the camaraderie, the maps, the whole package. It was everything I wanted to do.